Hello and welcome to the preview of Epsom Day. Aaron Matey, Mark Lambourne, hello there.
Well, it's exciting, Dale, and you know, are they going to water the track today?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? Well, I haven't seen the official rating this morning. How was it soft 5 yesterday? It just can't be, can it?
It was 7 on Wednesday.
Was it? Okay.
It's 4 this morning.
Yeah.
One thing I'll give him, I reckon the track would have gone close to getting to the heavy last week, but it had to have dried quicker. Because I even...
It's like yesterday, today.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I understand
look at Dale,
Monday
he's
it's still
all,
been wet.
yeah.
he's all summed up.
Sum it up. Yeah, exactly right. A little bit of doing a bit of work, duck down to the beach. It's good when you've got Queenscliff Beach in your backyard. Yeah,
Exactly,
why not?
yeah.
Lovely, perfect. Anyway, enough about that. All right, we're sun, we're warm, we're good 3 to 4. Good 3 is the track. Rail 3 metres. Mark should see it playing 5 metres off the inside.
Yeah, it's a good position, 3 metres.
Yeah.
You still sort of want to draw mid to high, I think.
Yeah.
And you want to be off the rails. It's not as toothy as the normal position.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
It's in that vein.
Yep, perfect. All right,
What do you
lovely.
say when that comes to 2-year-olds though?
Oh,
Well,
yes.
they are highly advantaged by finding a rail.
Well, I think the 3 metre rail is a much better spot for the 2-year-olds because, as we know, that first metre with the rail true. I really, and I've spoken with this, and I think a lot of people share the same thought. The Randwick rail true should be 1 metre in from where it is. If you have a look at it, I'm not sure if it's an optical illusion, but it actually really does look to, when you're on there rail true, it looks like it goes like that, and then there's almost like a valley there.
Right, on the rail.
On the rail. So yeah, so hard fence at Randwick rail true is always normally poison, but then that 1 metre away from it isn't as bad. So I think what it does, it gives the advantage, it evens it up because the horses that are going to be in the lane are going to get that 2 to 3 length advantage, but those horses on the fence, the 2-year-olds, get the guide to go, which they all seem to be happy with. Yeah. Which I think actually almost outweighs the lane.
Yeah.
Because if they're lost, they're lost.
I think, yeah. Well, look, we had this
Depending on how
here
tractable the horse is.
2 years ago. The 3 metre rail on Epsom Day, so you might like to look at the 2-year-old results on that day for your best guide.
All right, lovely. All right, tournament, massive tournament, $500 buy-in. Aaron, everyone's in. Glenn has declared himself favourite again, and Immoral, everyone's playing for second.
Everyone's playing for second.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Third's all right, isn't it?
Third's all right too. Third's all right. So it's a
Third's all right, right?
guaranteed minimum pool of $15,000, which we're all hoping we'll get beyond. You can buy back in as well too. Now that's the new feature if you haven't played a tournament for a while. Yeah, great way to play Epsom Day. I was just talking to Darren on the way in, a couple of short price favourites too that you could be, there could be a bit of danger to throughout the day. So the tournament is a good way that you can play for a good result without doing your absolute balls. So jump on board with the tournament, $500 buy-in. Everybody's going to be in there playing there, and yeah, it's a good chance of winning. Hopefully 10,000's the prize pool, and then a few as you down to 4th or 5th, or depending on how many people we get in the tournament. So yeah, it's a very good way of doing it. And as we mentioned there, it's don't have the distraction of Melbourne really tomorrow as well too. So you can concentrate on the tournament as well as betting up on Epsom Day. Sounds pretty good to me. So go to topbetter.com and you will find your way to the tournament. Beautiful. The first race is the Breeders' Plate over 1,000 metres. And Capitalist is about $1.80 even money, thereabouts, almost getting to even money. Cohesion for
Probably not now because number 10's coming.
Yeah, that's right, of course it is too. Star is out, so it's $4.60 Cohesion, Detective $9.50. They're the ones.
Right, well we start with you, Dal, because of course you were present at the 2-year-old trials, and
I've been also privy to the proper data from the 2-year-old trials as well too.
So which I don't think any of us are. Any of us.
No, the only two people who've seen the data are Vince and I.
Yes.
So
That's very cheeky, Vince.
unless you were sitting in my place yesterday afternoon, you haven't seen it. No.
All right, so away you go, Dal.
Well, Capitalist. Look, what we're sort of looking for in this is obviously overall time's good, but you're just looking for those hidden sections in it. And Capitalist has done something pretty special for the last 200 metres. It's gone 5.5 lengths above for its last 200 metres, which is pretty good. Benchmark time overall for the trials, which is good for a 2-year-old, which is pretty similar to what Vancouver did last year. This horse is pretty serious. It's a great type, Aaron.
Yep.
Obviously, with all of this, the caveat is how they parade on the day, because trying to pick 2-year-olds' progressions of where they come and how much they progress from the trials and that, you're throwing darts, and until you see them, you don't know. I mean, we can say that this horse, I'd expect it to improve 2 lengths, but you see him last year, they haven't improved, and they might not have been able to get the work into them after the trials. And then some come on a lot more than you think. So, but if this horse turns up in the sort of same condition that it was, and from what it did, they're playing for second.
Yeah, it's easy enough to like. There's only one minor issue I can find, and that's that, you know, the other guys were coming to Randwick for the first time.
Yep.
It was at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fickle.
But, you know, it's certainly easy to like.
Is that, are you against that as well, even though the fact that the races are
The race at Randwick does.
Is that a big difference?
I'm saying that the others, he had more...
Comfort in the trial.
Yeah, he had more verve. He had more sort of confidence because he was just stepping out on the track that he lives at.
Yeah.
Whereas the others,
So the others will drive more improvement from having had experience at the track.
Right.
Obviously, Cohesion did what he did, and he looks an obvious second pick. And I went looking for Sam O'Dowd, who trialled on Tuesday, and it's, you know, Bern Baker's burning up his.
Just trying to rev them up and win a race through
He
fitness.
trialled in a very fast heat.
Yeah.
A very, very fast heat.
Yep.
We've come on board here tomorrow, and Prized Icon has the blinkers. Didn't wear the blinkers in the trial. I don't know whether that will make much of a difference, but I thought that was interesting.
Lovely. Anyway, Adam, how are you seeing it?
They were the kind of four horses, the four that you just mentioned, the four that took my fancy to
Really?
the race I really want to play in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy to really play in these races if with the right stand.
Yeah,
yeah.
I always love the 2-year-olds. I think you can always get
Oh,
a
look,
great
I mean,
edge, especially because for me, I always find it's a time that a lot of the bigger players, they don't like bedded, they like exposed form.
Yeah.
So these
Yeah.
younger things, so many differentials, and if you can find your lead, especially on the day,
Your
it's
go,
great.
Aaron.
Mate,
Your go.
You watch trials, we watch them in the yard, and I should say the thing that we're looking at those trials, the 2-year-old trials are different because they're a lot more competitive, so we can get a better. We won't break the trials down like that as much and be confident in. The 2-year-old trials are sort of somewhere between a trial and a race, so we can get a better feel for them
And
and
how
be
do you think the
confident.
track was playing on that day?
The track was actually, we probably had it as a, I reckon they must have watered it between the Saturday and the trials because we had it, they were right in the fast lanes and we had them sort of probably about, what would be a genuine dead track on the old scale. So that's worth considering too. There was a bit of sting out. And they shouldn't have because that was right hard in the fast lane.
Well, I thought a couple of the bigger horses looked to be floundering
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah,
on the
exactly,
day.
yeah.
And
So
even
I reckon
beyond
they
maybe
gave it a
no
drink.
Well, I actually did see Capitalist live, and he did seem to take a long time to get wound up.
Yeah. There was actually one thing that did come out of the trials is that it's indicative of that track and probably indicative of these horses. A lot of them did lose their way from the 400 to 200 metres, so they're probably coming around that
The rail
bend.
was out so far.
Yeah, I think no. They're coming around the bend. They're probably hitting that worst section between the 6 and the 4, which we know it is.
Yeah.
And then they're sort of just taking their time to get ready. They're sort of losing they weren't as tractable as they should be.
Any thought that this favourite, given that was his first public appearance, that he actually gets out here and he's on pace? Because obviously he came from the back of his trial.
I don't think he'll be too far away.
I don't think he'll be going. He's not going to be anywhere near last. I think he'll be in the first half of the field, barrier 4. I think Blake will just have him there. I don't think he'll lead, but he'll definitely.
I'd expect him to be
box
hard
leading
stalk.
somewhere there.
I'd expect the bottom one to lead. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, walk right in. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Okay. Well, that's
Yeah, I
right.
thought it's kind of out of him. If he doesn't, we probably Cohesion, and then Bjorn's all stand out. Or one thing with that Prized Icon, she's the relation to Romantic Moon, and I'm pretty sure he improved sharply with blinkers. I'm assuming that's what the blinkers has gone on. Also.
All right. Well, basically, my point is shade of odds on with the right thing ticked in the yard. I'm very happy to be on Capitalist.
Yep. Yes.
I don't like
And also,
taking
my opening point about the 2-year-olds would be that it's easier to take a shorter price about the males than it is about the females. I think it's easy to. The females can often be, because they're, how do I say it? As a group, they're sort of all triers, whereas the males, they're sort of like some are ready, some are aren't. They're more genuine. They're sort of, it's a more competitive race, the fillies race, than the price of the favourite may reflect.
Okay, perfect. All right, well, moving on to the fillies race is the Gimcrack Stakes, over 1,000 metres. We've got a few emergencies that'll come out. Calliope is $2.10, $5 twist tops, and the rest are double figures.
Yeah, wow. It's a great race, hey?
Okay,
No,
you
very
like
interesting.
twist tops firstly. You like this trial.
Oh, I liked it and Calliope. I thought they were by far the two best of the females.
Well,
on
the
day.
Calliope has her on the best time of the day
Yeah.
overall.
Overall, one
Overall.
of the best times.
That's right. That's the best
Best
figures
time
over the day.
round.
Best
On the
IVR.
bunny. On the bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought they were the two. Look, drawing wides obviously there's got to be a big question mark for twist tops now.
Well, look, that's the problem with that horse. The advantage that it looked to have as a 2-year-old was to jump, run, fence, do it professionally. Barrier 18, well, what it'll be? It'll be barrier 14. You see them just get lost and cast out there, don't they? And even though we don't mind wide draws in 1,000 metres, it's a bit different for babies, mate.
Very
It's
different
a
to the
tough
first
gig
start
for her.
race.
There will be. I'm not going to say that the favourites necessarily going to find the lead either. It's I can imagine a sort of.
Not desirable miss might.
I thought Desirable Miss probably is the leader, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I thought she had enough maybe gate speed to even front the fence. And
Yeah.
I thought she looks rather fast with
Yep.
the blinkers on. I thought she'll jump, spring the leads, and I think she might even take plenty of catching. I thought she could run a cheeky race.
Yeah.
Go burn.
Go Blue.
Albert's Lass looks to have the Country Cuddy looks to have some toe as well.
Yeah.
Obviously trialled at a different set of heats, so harder to get a guide on her. What else?
I'm quite interested in this horse as well, Diva Jure. It's around 40 to 1 at the moment. It's actually,
From the Cheryl Roberts stable.
yes, the Cheryl Roberts stable, owned by Wallace Wife. And
Oh.
also
Who's she?
owned by the vet Roberts. Wife.
Oh, Tim Roberts.
Well, Tim
I
Roberts.
believe it's Tim Roberts.
It's Mrs. Tim Roberts.
Mrs.
Right.
Tim Roberts.
Okay, and where's she based?
Kembla.
Okay.
Its trial at Randwick was outstanding, I thought.
Mhm.
Looked a ready-made jump and run 2-year-old. Looks a nice horse. I've actually don't
Did you have a
mind
look at
if
the
you're
times for that race?
What, for which one?
Diva Jure.
Would it? What?
Well, I think they're probably like 3 seconds slow or something.
Okay.
No, they're on a different day. They were.
I know.
Yes.
Oh,
they're,
yes,
they're on the steeple grass.
Yeah. So you reckon they're 3 seconds out?
Oh,
it wouldn't be electronic timing on the stepper grass, so anything would be possible.
Okay. Anyway, I thought it looks an interesting.
Well,
horse.
I think the interesting thing is the connections you've mentioned.
Yeah, that's a very. I didn't.
Well done, Aaron.
Yeah, that's
well
very
done there.
good work, Aaron. Yes, very interesting. Okay, so that's that horse that I'm interested in and want to talk about is Slumber Party. Who it was okay numbers from it. I think a 14th best of the day or something like that from the trials. It was the biggest horse probably on the day, Aaron, as in lack of preparedness. Whether that can be in 2 weeks can be knocked out of it to a point. Comes with the old gay play of blinkers on. Didn't trial with blinkers, starts out with blinkers.
Are you sure about that, Dom?
I don't think it trialled with blinkers.
I thought it did.
Did it trial with
I'm
blinkers?
pretty sure it did. I
Okay.
could be wrong.
All right, okay, well let's check that.
I think it's better if they trial with blinkers, really.
Yeah, well it starts out with blinkers.
I think the play of the sneaky play of trialing without blinkers, then putting the blinkers on race day, just gets totally fucked up by the gates because they get in the gates and they go,
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly right. Yeah, fair enough.
They don't
Okay.
have it on that.
Anyway,
I think if they do a lot of work at home and they jump them out at home, it's alright. But yeah, I do.
anyway, it's a horse. I've got to check that blinkers thing, but it's a horse that had them out of the more prominent trialers. It's the one with the most improvement for sure.
Okay.
I believe it's the one out of Gaze. All of the majority of the horses I thought looked a lot more forward than it, and it was the one that performed the best out of
Yeah,
them.
that's right. And in saying that, they were nowhere near as forward as what Gay presents the horses on and those trials.
Yeah.
As a rule. So
And the Godolphin horse that trialled alongside Slumber Party, how did they compare?
yeah, it was big as well too. Slumber Party was 9 months pregnant. It was 6 months pregnant. So yeah, it's got a
How
got a
How
lot
do they
of
get them so big? Like they're young horses.
They're young
like,
horses. Yeah, they're just
Big girls who are beautiful.
yeah. The bigger the cushion, the better the pushing.
Right.
Anyway, Calliope is the horse to beat, though, isn't it?
Certainly is the horse to beat. I think that's a shitty odds.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
Sharon?
I think it's the horse to beat. I think if Twist Tops can find a little bit of cover from out wide and extend, she'll take a stack of beating. And I thought the 2 at odds were 6 and 7, Desirable Miss and Diva Jure. I thought they could be something for the exotics.
Keen to bet if you with the right yard push.
Yeah, possibly. I like playing the exotics in these races early as well.
All right, lovely.
Just one further point. Any comment on Milbo, who sort of I like the look of in the trial. Rick Worthington I go, oh.
Get
Yeah.
down, all right.
I remember it looked a nice tyre, attacked the line.
Yeah, it was a nice tyre.
My only point with it was Barry 16 didn't really overexcite me.
Yeah, but it's not
better
like
on the
it's
harder track too.
it's not a horse that you're looking for to find the lead. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's true. So could this go back?
Anyway, perfect. Now,
I think I want to be up there though.
all right, what we want to be up with is Friday night. So as soon as you're watching this, you can be jumping on board with Darren Potter's set and also the Race Speed Profiles, which you can get for free if you are either a previous subscriber to Darren's stuff, a previous subscriber to the Race Speed Profiles, whether that be Sydney or Melbourne, or if you're not, if you become a subscriber to any one of those services. So if you jump on board with the Race Speed Profiles for either Sydney or Melbourne as subscription basis, which is week to week, but you can opt out at any time, or Darren's Melbourne set, which the main one is Turnbull Stakes Day, but he has done a full set for Moonee Valley tonight. Great card at Moonee, very good.
Is that Caulfield as well?
Nah, Caulfield, we're Brasco. Caulfield doesn't exist tomorrow. It's a midweek.
Holy shit, that's a nasty.
No.
card.
So nothing for Caulfield tomorrow. It's all about an abridged version of Race Speed Profiles, but still all the work's gone into it. It's just less words in it, but it's still you'll have that this afternoon. That'll be online by the time you're watching this. Darren's set is full for Moonee Valley. There's a horse we both like at 50 to 1 or 60 to 1 in the Moya Stakes.
And that's
Yes, it's Brook Road, Aaron.
I found it.
Yes, it is. Wow, okay. Yeah, let's just give away our 50 to 1 bid.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you,
give it
Aaron.
away.
Yeah, well done.
We can give it away.
Go fuck yourself.
I found it also.
Hey?
I found it also.
Good, okay. All right, so yeah, anyway, Moya
I
Stakes.
didn't find it.
You didn't find it?
No, there you go. But it can come down the outside, but there. Anyway, so you got the message. Darren stuff for Sunday for Turnbull Stakes Day, Race Speed Profiles for either of the two, and you get the whatever it is free for tonight.
I think
for
the
Moonee
most
Valley.
exciting thing is what he's rated it. That's what I
Darren?
found very interesting.
Yeah.
So you found it, but you also knew that he found it.
Well, I found it first and I was shattered that he
Yeah.
found it.
And I'm talking to him on the way in here today. He said, "What did you think of it?" I said, flew fifth run first prep. It's dangerous territory for me. It's, he's got the numbers there, blah blah blah. He said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." We found a couple out wide. He said, "Yes." I said, "Brook Road." He said, "Yes." So yeah, good. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so there you
Where's
go.
the rail tonight?
True. Which means on pace, but you don't want to lead. As Darren says, you can lead if you want to run a place. That's good. But it's just stalking. But with the sprint races, they can slingshot into the golden lanes. Hence why we're sort of all atmospheric, not atmospheric, Brook Road a bit. Anyway, race 3 is the TAB Dulcifer Quality over 1600 metres. Ocean Tempest and Coliseum King are scratched. Ocean Tempest later on. $3-ish, $3.20 for Woodang Mountain. 3 to 1, 7 to 2 for Lucala and Ambience.
Wow,
the
this
speed.
is the soft race of the day. Isn't it?
Lovely. So what are we saying?
And there isn't a great deal of speed.
No, well,
there's Cracklin' Rosie.
Coliseum King looked our leader and he's gone.
Oh, really? Coliseum King?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, he wants about 2,400 metres just to keep up.
Yeah, I know. That's where we're at, isn't it?
Cracklin' Rosie on speed. Woodang Mountain will definitely be on speed here. He'll take the forward option there. And a horse that did show speed for his Victorian trainer, but went out the back at Kembla Schopenhauer.
Yeah, he can pick up and move.
Could be part of it. More Than Fabulous won't give his alley away, but it's a sort of a dawdling race.
Yeah.
And unless David Payne has some idea that Cracklin' Rosie will assist More Than Fabulous, unless that's the plan, I can't see a lot happening here.
No. All right, okay. All right, let's start with Woodang Mountain. Anyone want to kick off with Woodang Mountain?
Well, he's going to make his own luck here.
It's huge stalking, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good setup. But the bad setup is that he went to Newcastle. That's bad.
And didn't really do much at Newcastle.
And did nothing.
Yes.
And of course he's one of my favourite sires.
Which
Big Brown.
Big Brown. Is it Big Brown? Is it?
Big, bad, beautiful Brown.
Yeah, there it is.
So he needs a partner, but he's got a great chance.
Yeah,
despite.
I think he's got a huge chance. He's the horse. Our favourite word, progressive.
I was going to say progressive. We've got a segment.
Who's progressive?
Woodang Mountain.
What are you talking about?
You don't think he's progressive? You think he's hit his mark and he's gone?
Oh, I'm saying that his mark's probably a lot better than this, but he's hit his mark.
Well, I think he's hit his mark. He can't get any better. Yeah. My big query with the horse are all of his best form has been on rain affected going.
But I think he's going to be better on the dry.
Yeah, I think he might. I'm not sure yet. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
I think
thought he
that-
would be, but
I think
from
that's his
everything
chance.
I've seen now, yeah, maybe.
I reckon that's his chance here. I mean, look, the bar here is awful. The bar. This is, midweek standard bar. And
Well, I marked Ambience $1.80 at Kembla. That's the lowest race.
Is it? Yeah.
Low. The only good thing I will say about Ambience is A, it won, and B, it did draw inside. But honestly,
yeah, lovely. Now, one of your article that'll be up this afternoon.
Yep.
What do we call it? Q&A. Often with these horses from Godolphin, we find out during the day they've got a big spruik in them, whatever. You've spoken to James McDonald, and he was only yay or nay about it, wasn't he?
No, he said, look, she's going wonderfully. He goes, she's always been a big spruik horse because I think she's a half to Piero.
Oh, okay.
So there's always been that big wrap and that big weight of anything related to him, obviously like that. So, but he said from what he knows, she's been aimed at the Oak. She'll most likely go to the Wakefield next start.
so
she's
guys,
going
we need to
beautifully at home.
turn a foot here, don't we?
Yeah, well,
The only thing is,
not sounding like that.
This is gonna be Sydney Sprint.
and he said that she is giving him a bit of a feel that she's already looking for a mile on the water.
well, but that does help with the O'Shea 21 days plus 200, and if she's already a bit dour, that might help him.
I thought the horse that I was quite interested in was Lacola. I thought her last run, it wasn't horrendous.
No, it was against the older mares, and
Yeah.
we watched two horses come out of that race and win on Wednesday. She's obviously got a line there with Wudang Mountain, where they were both disadvantaged in a slowly run race, and then she rounded them up in a slowly run race, had a lane to help her, but More Than Fabulous was in that race as well, so she fits in there very well.
Yeah, she was the one I kind of found on top without wanting to overly dive into one. I thought she was the one at the price that she's currently at. I wanted to find her here. Getting the rend, which I thought would be a plus for her.
It's Chris Waller, so I never want to doubt him, but geez, I didn't like what I saw in the yard from her to be running fifth up first prep this time in, but it is Chris Waller. And
Yeah, one thing on her though, I thought she's one that
she's
looked
got better?
horrendous first up and just keeps slowly getting better.
She
Sometimes those mares
from
can
what I
thrive on
saw, what I saw last time, she must have looked really horrendous to be horrendous in comparison to what she was. But Chris. One thing I've learned, the main lesson in the last 12 months is just don't doubt Chris Waller.
Well, if you ever saw Winx as a young horse, she never looked like she was going to be anything. If you went on type-wise, she just looked like she might grow into a body hopefully one day, and she's starting to.
Anyway, in a pretty average race, it's Wudang Mountain, no star, but if he is what I believe, and he's going to be better on the dry, that puts him elevated there, especially with Huey just going.
He's got draw, he's got rider,
He'll have lane.
Yeah, he's got configuration in the sense that he's fifth up but in his second preparation.
Yeah.
So,
Whoopie whoop.
well,
What price did you mark?
I didn't force
I marked him
her
7 of all.
7 to 4. But so yeah, it's about right, isn't it? Yeah. But do you want to take 7 to 4 with Mountain?
I'll take 5 to 2.
Okay. All right. There you go, Aaron. Oh,
No, I don't ride. Like I said, I got Lacola on top. I had him 4-3-1.
4-3-1. All right.
So what do you got to say about 3? You made it a second pick then?
I just thought that the one's under the odds, and I'm waiting to see him run up to his best on a dry track.
Hasn't Land's End had enough chances?
Yeah, may have, but like you just said,
nothing,
I put a line
nothing.
for everything.
I say, yeah, okay, fair enough. Default. All
Default.
right. Okay. That's race 3. Race 4. Oh, actually, we should just mention too. I mean, obviously, it's a huge weekend, but there's Monday stuff on too. We might come up with a little special package for Monday too, because we'll probably be doing Mounting Yard Mail. Might even be a Mounting Yard Mail Mark Lambourne combo. or
Oh,
something.
sounds great, Dallas.
Something like that. But just remember, public holiday Monday, Warwick Farm.
Looks a good card of racing. Very good card of racing.
Okay.
Public holidays, I love it.
Roman Consul, Metropolitan on the public. Donny Gomez. Oh, it's Donny Gomez. The anniversary, Glenny boy. Roman Consul, Canterbury, 1200 metres. Exafir, 2's on. Japanisme reappeared at $5-ish. Counter attack, $7-ish. Mark.
Wow, it's always exciting when you get the Golden Rose winner in this race, isn't it? And I see they've bumped it up to 300, so they're pushing it onward and upward, which is good because I mean it's been that sort of, it's that 14, 12, maybe guineas, maybe Coolmore,
Yeah, exactly. Which I think that's the key talking point for the race. But anyway, who leads? It's Wicked Intent and.
Well, there's a bit there, isn't there? I mean, Wicked Intent is a keen Queenslander. Spill the Beans is keen out wide.
Yep.
Saboog has started to put it all together, and he's underneath them. you've got Yabaroo pushing into a position. You've got Zutenant who raced very, very hard up on the speed in 1100 the other day. It looks keen. Takedown shouldn't be too far away. Le Chef, the Magic Millions winner, may be a bit revved up. Because, you know.
It's a little bit happening with the pace there, and Exosphere should be just sort of midfieldish.
Yeah, the thing that stops him from being a 2's on chance, I think, is the gate.
I think
you just want him to draw middle, or
just to be
just to make the bird of it.
Right.
Obviously, he's always coming back from the Golden Rose. So that's always, I know that Zoostar looked amazing coming out of the Golden Rose.
Yeah.
But
look, the thing in his favour is that he has got, and what he has done, he's not only got links on them, but links on every 3-year-old there is. But the worry that I have is that, yes, 1400 back to 1200 metres. Now, I always say it with John O'Shea is I want John O'Shea going 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. As soon as it becomes a bit clever and whatever, I don't know if I'm sure his record doesn't stack up. Now, it's not just 1400 metres back to 1200, it's back to that with the eye on the Coolmore. And this is this race, this in the slipper of the race that John O'Shea has done his head in about trying to win.
yes.
Now, and when he does his head in, I think
What was his name? That ended up at Bathurst? Fist of Fury.
Fist of Fury versus Northern Meteor. I just worry about the setup and what might have been done and what might not have been done in it. But in saying that, the horse has got lengths on the field and probably has to win. Can I back him? No. Could I back him against him? No possible way. If I had to go one way or the other, I'd be backing him. That's my thoughts on Exosphere, but I'm worried about the setup.
Yeah. I tried hard and couldn't get him shorter than evens, but I mean, he's obviously eminently likeable in so many respects. If Japanise Me can resurrect, it's really not a bad race for him because, Hugh from that draw looks like he'll be competitive. He'll be.
Yeah. I'll be interested to hear. You haven't spoken to Liam Pryor yet, have you, Aaron, for your article? I'll be interested to hear what the theory was because I didn't expect to see Japanese Me until next carnival. Just your thoughts on Exosphere, Aaron?
He always looked like he was going to be super impressive as a 2-year-old, and better as a 3-year-old. He's come back and done it.
Yeah,
he's standing himself as
should say he's still got improvement from what he had at the Golden Rose too.
Yeah. Well, as a 2-year-old, I always thought he was the one that was. I thought, looking even Glenn, I think found him on top of Vancouver
in the slipper. Yes, he did.
In the slipper, and he come back and he's gone wow. The thing about, I'd be more worried about him being 2 weeks back to 1200. I'm happy he's had the break to keep him fresh enough for the
no 1400 metres back to 1200 metres 3 weeks is fine. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
But I'm just worried about what the end game is and how that's been handled.
That could be half the worry. But look, he looks very, very, very hard to beat. And barrier 3, I'm not too worried with James McDonald.
Yeah, I think the difference there when you talk about Zoostar, Sea Waller, he can do anything.
Yeah, he's a freak.
I suppose.
Yeah. Anyway.
But one that interests me, maybe for like Quinella purposes or place purposes, is Spill the Beans. He's highly talented. He's come back trialled exceptionally well. His form on paper looks very average in the fact that he's just beat Yabaroo.
And Holler.
Yeah, he did beat Holler. Now we're seeing Holler from Holler. I know he got beaten by older horses.
Jesus Christ, Holler had no chance on Wednesday. Like that run, he couldn't possibly win.
Yeah.
Couldn't possibly win. He had the nastiest run of all time.
Anyway, but back to Japanese Me, it's a horse that has performed very, very well. It was top of the tree until.
My only query with it is Exosphere wasn't fit and kicked
its in. Yeah, exactly. I think it raced flat. I'm really
interested.
But
I mean, the SPs say evens Japanise Me, and
that's right, exactly.
And
I think,
5-1.
I think he raced a bit flat that day, and that's why I'm surprised to not see him out. That's why I'm very interested to hear what the stable's got to say about him.
The only thing I'd say on that was he had lots of current form, and Exosphere was coming back off a fail. Look, so that's what
there's plenty of ways of looking at it.
Yeah,
plenty of ways.
Yeah. But it's still there. It's still there. It's still sitting there. I agree with it. And it's a horse that I'm not going to get let under the guard if they're.
Another horse that was a huge run the other day. I thought was Takedown, but he's probably looking for 1400.
Why did you think it was a huge run the other day?
I just knowing him, I thought the wet track the other day is 100% not him. Okay. And the way that he attacked the line, knowing that he's going, oh my God, I'm sinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he goes.
He
And-
performed
and
a lot
I
better
want-
than I expected.
Yeah, and 1100 is not his goal
But-
either. Like
but I think-
1400 on paces.
I think Exosphere Japanisme are in one. They're on one planet and he's on another.
Yeah,
planet.
yeah.
Possibly.
His Rosehill value win is
no.
like that's just
No, we're
that's
talking
negative
about
negative
we're
form.
talking about high class horses here. Could be superstars in Exosphere and
You think
Japanese.
Japanisme is that
Oh,
good,
Japanisme. Well, he's not far. He's sort of just behind him, but he's a long way in
runs
front.
in the races, you know.
He's-
I mean,
he's
he
a
might
long-
be gone, but he's,
Yeah.
he's still got
Yeah.
he's still got a win there to start.
Put it this
today.
way, I'll be backing him versus Takedown every time. I would imagine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. I just mentioned that. That's race 4. So we're sort of Exosphere, but we're
Well,
couldn't be betting up at 2s on. Is that what
no,
you're saying?
no.
I'm going to have a small bit on an each way basis, build the beans, maybe take the vanilla or exact or something like that with him.
All right. Cool. Now, Aaron,
Yes.
if you want to start a new segment, you got to go through with it.
You got to go through it.
Your superstars.
Yeah, but we don't say superstars every week.
Aaron, you say it 3 times a meeting.
No.
That's
no,
the problem. That's where this all started from. So you're just not going to. Now you're going to be selective with your superstars,
I've
eh?
been
You're not going to
selective.
annoy everybody out there like you annoy us and say this horse could be a superstar.
Well, speaking of superstars, can we move on to the Premier Stakes because this is a good little race?
All right. Okay.
This
So
is
nothing.
We found a progressive horse in Hellbent. No
Hellbent.
superstar that looks very good.
Ravi might be due for a run next week, might he?
It is. It's there on Monday. So
Oh.
get
Wow,
very
okay,
excited.
There he is. Next
Aaron's
superstar.
attention. Yeah, Hellbent went beautifully
Yeah.
on Wednesday.
All right, race 4, race 5 is the Premier Stakes. Terra Vista, 5 to 4, 6 to 4. Rebel Dane, $4.20, and General Ife about the 5 to 1 mark.
Why is Rebel Dane so short?
I don't know because it won last start. I don't know. Barrier 1.
Everything went right.
Oh, I couldn't. Everything went right and then some.
And he was the best
And he was the best parader.
Right. What about the synthetic hoof filler on the favourite?
I did. Oh, okay. That's your little list
Yeah.
again. Is this your contribution to the show? You just come up with the surprise synthetic filler.
I did know about this
Yeah.
one. It's not in my book either.
No,
but
it's
I do know it's there.
It's not that small.
The Terra don't like the
No,
Terra don't care about synthetic hoof filler.
they said there's nothing about synthetic.
They're
filler.
saying, oh, that reduces turnover.
Yeah, that's what we can't put that in.
It's an
Okay.
interesting one because, like I said, I spoke to Peter Roble once about it. He said it can be anything like a nail break where you're just filling in a little bit, where all you can see is like Flamboyant Lass, half of her hoof was covered in.
Right.
Yeah.
I'd say a third was literally covered in hoof filler.
And speaking of that, what's the nail polish they put on the horses? Like I only noticed
Oh, they
the
paint it.
stalls the other day.
It's
What do they paint that?
That's just
the hooves
tar.
with?
No, because it's what it is. It's so the dirt, all that little bits of dirt and stuff don't get into the actual
Yeah.
things of their feet whilst racing.
So it's it's like
Ah, it is. And
And
it
it
also
makes
makes
it
it
look
look
pretty.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Right.
yeah.
But it actually is for that, so they don't get stuff in their feet and they can wash it off.
Anyway, so Terra Vista, Joe Pride. What are we saying about Joe Pride? We've got a couple of stables out of form at the moment, including my favourite, Game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting how the stables line up. You've obviously got Waller across the card, with the exception of the Flight Stakes, but and the exception of this race as well. But you've got this is Joey's race.
Yeah.
Gay's sort of got the Flight Stakes.
yeah, and Chris can have the rest.
Well,
Why are we
O'Shea's
saying Joey's
obviously there.
gone?
I'm not saying Joey's gone. I'm just saying the
He's
stable
just floundering a
is
little
he's
bit.
floundering.
A little bit. One thing I've noticed with Joe Pride and a lot of those trainers that like to race their horses fit, I think the stables go in cycles. And I think he's been in between his cycle and now he's got his good horses back and they're on their way to get him.
I still worry about how the thing that worries me. I suppose it's just one horse, but Craftiness, how it paraded first up, and then the male from Warren. I don't know. I just don't know. I'm being
Destroyed itself last week.
Yeah.
That was a
it's a
nasty,
monster,
nasty.
Yeah, I know. But it just
Nasty
like this
business
rating.
last week.
Anyway, Joe's more. I think more of a question mark than he has been a tick in the past.
Yeah, so he's got like
Muscle was a
he's
good improver.
Yeah, that's
No.
right. That's fair enough.
he's got he's returned with Tiger T, so I didn't expect to see it again. Obviously, Hot Schnitzel, and that's a good idea from their higher draws. Look to contest with potentially Tiger T's, depending on if he's still with us to that extent. Terra Vista should lob into a good spot, and Rebel Dane behind them on the inside.
Okay, so Terra Vista favourite. We'll start with him. Are we pro or against Terra Vista?
Well, it's a lovely race for him in many
It's
respects,
just perfect if he's right, isn't it?
and he
Couldn't
has,
be
he
more
has given him 3 trials.
Yeah, and then the last 2 have been decent. So he should be even more forward and fitter than he was going to be last time.
Yeah, I mean he's got that record that, apart from the first up in the Newmarket, is nice and clean.
Yeah, exactly, which was a mistake. So the worry is he's got to reinvent himself from last time, and there's reasons.
Well, he's had a long enough break to do it. He's had the trials. He looks to be going good from the trials, and if he's anywhere near right, he could just blow their heads off, couldn't he?
You'd think so. Well, he can go 10 lengths above average, and the rest of them can't.
He's still like these horses have already been there. I speak of Rebel Dane and Hot Schnitzel. Famous Jameson's had a run back as well. Throw in Rock Sturdy. It's not totally ideal. You'd prefer to be back in Terra Vista with them all first up.
Yeah.
I thought the only horse in the race that could ever improve this prep off anything it's done was Rock Sturdy. Being that he used to kind of lightly race, and the fact he's only had 15 starts and he has some little setbacks and things like that.
I'm not going to go Rock Sturdy.
But the rest of them have all hit their mark. If he can give his best, Terra Vista will just win.
I think I agree with that. That's the thing. If he hits his best, he does. But that's the if. That's what we've got to work out. Is he going to? Are you confident he is going to do that?
I don't know. I'll have a look on Saturday to see how he looked.
Yep.
He looks happy. If he looks well, he looks fit.
Yeah. Yeah, he is a horse that you can get a pretty good guide on from the yard too. We've seen enough of him to know how he's going to race. Mark, are you saying that you think he's going to bring his best or not?
I'm prepared to say, I've marked him 5 before, and I've been quite kind to him. I think that's
Well, you probably should get that.
That's an intriguing tip, Aaron, and I think you're right about that. Rock Sturdy has got upside.
Yeah.
It's the one horse in the race that kind of looks like it's...
The firmer, the better. True.
Yes, for a horse that does have very good wet track runs, he's definitely better on dry track.
Yeah. So exactly right. And
I thought his run first up was fantastic.
It was good. It was more than a pass mark.
I think 1400 is definitely more his go, but I thought he could be one that could run a
and probably even the way that he
race.
graded, he looked like third up was probably more time. But I'm not going to.
I could easily see him run a race.
Yeah,
I thought Famous Seamus could be one.
And that's a good idea. Just come across and bash it out and.
Well, that's a good idea, as resuming off some pretty solid runs.
Two very good runs. It looked like he went missing forever, and then he looked like he was
a combination of wet tracks and tough runs.
He did look like he was beaten up, and he'd never recovered from a couple of those brutal runs. But last preparation he looked back to his humming and quite brutal best.
Yes.
The fact that he didn't beat Ball of Muscle worries me. I know.
Yeah.
Ball of Muscle just got nosed out in this lead up here. Isn't that
Ball of Muscle?
the line?
I can't compare Ball of Muscle and Terra Vista horses.
No, fair call. Anyway, all right. So I'm Terra and General Leaf too. I think it's.
Well, there's shades of last year, of course. Famous Seamus got his consolation, staying out of trouble, and General Leaf was still trying to get out.
Mm-hmm. All right. So. Terra Vista, yay. I think I'm yes.
I'm Terra Vista from Rock Sturdy and Famous Seamus at the odds. Could be a little Quinella race as well.
Okay. Well, I'm Terra Vista, and unless I see something in the yard I don't like. No.
Terra Vista is hard to beat. I want to back Hot Schnitzel. With the benefit of the run, and I'm interested in what Aaron has to say about Rock Sturdy.
Yep, lovely, cool. I think my point in this race is I can take that price, but I couldn't take that price for the full bet.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's a good way of putting it.
All right, okay. Race 6 is the Craven Plate over 2,000 metres. Complacent to about 6 to 4, $2.50-ish, and the others 5 and 6 to 1 for Haraki and Ruling Dynasty, and then around about the 10 to 1 mark about for I'm Imposing and Grand Marshal and Gallant.
Promises to be very differently run than the lead up of the Hill Stakes, and that gives me a question mark. Of course, Complacent seemed to box on, particularly well off a torrid run last time, but he'll be dawdling here. Is that actually any good? Is that actually good for him?
Okay, there's a change. Yeah, it's a fair question.
Because the fact that he'll be dawdling will reduce his price.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But you're thinking
the perception is, he gets a much easier time of it and he controls the race and all this. But what we saw him do the other day was, being asked to work.
Yeah, and
will this be, if this is a sit and sprint, does that mean that the horses coming up from the mile, the bottom two horses, have something to offer?
Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. All right, okay, so if they have something to offer, it's a fair point. J-Mac on for Samantha is... I know Sam's riding winners, but there's the more you look at it, the more those four just stand out. The big four in James, Blake,
Still a
Huey,
huge
Gunn.
class,
Yeah.
You know, they're different class. So that helps. It is the go-to horse.
Gunn's
isn't
doing
it?
a good job to be in that bracket, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't have the support of the other ones, does he?
No.
Oh man.
What do you
I
want to
know
say, Aaron?
a lot of his forms, like early form, was good on dry tracks. I've got a half query about the fact that he's had that injury.
Yeah, he
and
might
he might
need a bit
actually
of cushion.
appreciate a little bit of cushion out of the track.
But I don't think Randwick's ever going to be.
Rock
Well,
hard.
it's not going to be
No,
rock
it's-
hard.
it's not.
Rose Hill different. Randwick at the moment, I don't know if that. I think you're still going to have that.
And I thought he
think
had
it's good
I
grass
did think
cover.
he had a little bit of a gut buster last start.
I think so. Yeah, they didn't, but they didn't go. They didn't go all that fast in it though. So he's had to work to get there, but they haven't gone all that fast throughout the race. So and he
I don't
was
think he's had
third
an
up,
easy run,
and it was
so.
2,000 metres. It's back to 2,000 metres.
Still fourth up off the long break.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you know, and it's.
I can't dive into him at the price, but I can see it is a very, very.
I
expensive
think the
race.
price is a bit risky, and whilst he might get favours and that, I think on these days at Randwick, I'd much rather be stalking than I would be leading.
I actually like his stablemate, Haraki.
Okay, all right, Mark. Do you want to just finish on complacent before we get to Haraki?
No, what you see is what you get. I mean, he's got the gun rider. He set himself up. You know, he's fourth up into this race. The only issue I can find is Will controlling the race and it developing into a sprint home suit him.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, you were saying Haraki, Aaron Macy.
Yeah, he was one from the trials that looked to have come back a lot better this prep. I mean, he looked bigger, stronger.
Well, it's only really his second prep, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
a pretty short break
Short.
at the end of last spring.
Yep. I think I was obviously happy with him at the end of last spring. I thought when he hit 2,000 metres, he went bang on a racehorse. My only little query is he's third up and not fourth up. I thought, and he did parade quite big first up,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
he could just be looking for that half a run more.
exactly.
Where I don't think he's heading towards a Caulfield
I
Cup.
expect to see a better version of him tomorrow, but still be a little bit.
But I
There's
just
a fair bit of
really
ground to
would
make
not-
up still on his second run to where he needs to be to win this
Yeah.
race.
One thing with him is getting back to a dry track is imperative, and his 2 runs on the soft tracks look quite good. He looks to be going well in himself. He just wasn't suited. Forgive me for both of them. He gets the winkers on, which I think is a good play. Shows that they do want him focused in
Bit
the
of
race.
intent, yeah.
Little bit of intent, and he's obviously one with a lot of progression and can reach new levels this prep.
All right, lovely.
So, and Magic Man, is he?
Yeah, I was
ever,
gonna say.
Is he ever going to deliver?
Oh God, he's due.
Yeah, yeah.
What? So we just keep backing him till he does?
Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go. That's it. He's due. He's getting more.
But he could do it for years when he starts to
I think like barrier 3, you should just put him into a position. He's not going to be sitting there while he's going to be there, and he's going to get the horse to travel. Trying to force to ride it good.
Yeah, well, we said that before. For him.
Yeah, I know.
We like where was it at Rose Hill? Said, oh well, he really just has to land in the right position. He still managed to land in the wrong position every day.
A bit like Nathan Thomas, and you're like 3 wide from barrier 1. He's a superstar. I think the man's a marvel.
I'm imposing, Aaron. In your new feature column last week, you did mention that they
he
said
was
this
set
is
for
fit for this race.
This
And
was his number 1
why
target
not?
race. Yep.
yes,
Yeah,
I'm imposing.
why not? Leader 1.
What, because he's 10, it's time to set him for a race?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? And I think his last 2 preps have probably been his best 2 preps of his life, so I couldn't say being 10 is going to be a massive issue.
He just keeps going. He's parading not like a 10-year-old. He's not a heavily raced 10-year-old though, is he? I mean,
He's lacking a carnival win. His wins are off season.
yeah, they are, but geez, there's some big numbers in them.
And what about Moriarty then, who
Getting closer.
who won
This race last year.
won this race last year and the Hill Stakes the year before?
Yeah,
Oh, he's getting.
he definitely progressed. I think if
He's
you go off the
progressing.
2 runs, I thought I'm imposing a slightly better run, just slightly, and I was leaning towards it.
So Rory to Hugh doesn't interest you?
Yes.
No, not at all, Mark. But,
I'd rather see
I'd
Rory.
rather it the other way these days.
You're comparing runs, and you're saying, oh, that was a better run, but you didn't take into account the jockeys.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I'm just going. I didn't think Rory did anything wrong on it at the same time.
Yeah, apart from get legged up.
I think he's actually riding.
Give me Rory over Hugh any day.
Yeah, I tell you what,
exactly.
Hutchings got replaced on the last on Wednesday, and I threw up on Merv 8, who's backing up on Monday.
I think he's actually
listening to go on
riding
Merv
rather well.
8 was just terrible.
He was one that everyone kept going. I think the stable can go. He can ride. Just give him time. And I was just going, Jesus Christ, he can actually ride.
Rory's okay, but he's not Hugh.
No, it's not.
It's simple as that.
We happy with that, Mark?
Yeah. All right. And I think I'm Imposing's runs. They've got a couple of really good mid-race squeezes in them, which are real bring-on runs and really interesting for a horse being.
One horse in the race makes me real icky is his Grand Marshal. I feel like he's going to be wanting. He wants further. He's going to improve further.
Jimmy on the fence, red gloves. Yeah.
There's something.
You just got to be prepared to cop that. I think. Mark,
what's his target?
I don't know.
Melbourne Cup.
What?
Yeah, Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, but you just Jimmy getting up on the 4th ranked Chris Wallace stayer, up on the fence. You just got to say, okay, good as gold, don't you?
So what do we make of the fact that Chris is double figures in this race? All Chris's are double figures in this race, and yet clearly
I won't be losing the race if Moriarty wins. I don't think. I think I'll be backing Moriarty, and I'm Imposing, so I'm pro Chris.
No, I'm Imposing Haraki on him. And let's get back. So the horse I think it's probably, I'm not a big weights person, it's the worst weighted horse I've ever seen.
Ruling Dynasty.
Highly progressive ruling dynasty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Up in grade plus 4 kilos.
Yeah, well, his first start run was good. I know there's a lot of people thought it was better to the eye than what it was, but then he's come out and he has won.
He's had 2 runs against Iraqi in the autumn. The first one was in the Tulloch Stakes, where he went back of the tail from the wide draw, and Iraqi just posied up on the inside there. And then in the Derby, he then made a mid-race move. His first try, 2400.
His numbers really have elevated when he's got to 2,000 metres. His Kembla run was pretty good.
Yeah, no, I think the horse is ticking over beautifully.
I think so. I think he's going to be much better at 2,000 metres. He's a horse I didn't like last start because I thought he already needed 2,000. But as far as tomorrow goes, I just think it's a little bit of a bridge too far. And, heaven forbid, the weight is against him.
Yes,
Progressive.
Progressive. Weight's against him.
Could be a superstar, though.
How much weight was Amelie Starr supposed to have the other day?
Yeah.
45?
Yeah.
Oh?
Yeah.
Should we just shut up about it?
Yeah.
If they're improving, they're improving.
Yeah,
it just won't matter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there you go. Would you be happy to take complacent or not?
Oh, I've marked it 9 to 4 down.
Okay, so you're probably
bet
against it though.
No, I'm not betting against it. I'm just saying, I think that he's a bit tight.
Mm-hmm. All right, okay. We lead to the feature event of the day, and it is the Star 150th Epsom, which is Winks $2.
It's a great race.
You do?
Yeah.
It's not an Epsom,
It's a cracker.
Well, yeah, but you've got the favourite that's going to be ridden cold.
No, I'll make my point why it's not an Epsom, because it's important in assessing the race, what I think. $2.80 Winks, $9.50, $8 Lucia Valentina, $9.50 for Silver Ball and Sadler's Lake. Okay, cool. So ridden cold, back to last year saying Winks, Mark?
Yeah, it's clearly going back and ridden quietly. So, that makes for an interesting race, because you're going, well, hang on.
Yeah.
Like she got over the top of them the other day, but it doesn't always work.
No, exactly.
Race configuration is, we're moving to a different track. We've gone from a 1300 to a 1600. It's a bit different.
It's very different.
She's obviously got a head of steam up after a sequence of wins, and she's got, one of our gun forward to ride. Anyway. I'm obviously starting with her, but I'm thinking that she's no moral.
It's interesting. So this is the point that I went back to about it's not an Epsom. I love sitting down and doing Doncaster's Epsom because there's the pattern, it's the 4th up, 2,000 metres back, that sort of thing. Now, what makes it not really an Epsom is, one, I suppose the weight spread probably is a key to that, but two, what makes an Epsom and what makes that 2,000 metre run and that 4th up and all that, whatever it is, whatever the keys are that are looking for the Epsoms and Doncasters, is normally you're going to have a race that's run about 10 lengths above average.
Yeah.
This race could easily be run at benchmark.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably one of your most excitable moments last year, wasn't it, with He's Your Man?
He's Your Man and Raw Descent. We said they
yeah. So, and you're saying that isn't applying here?
I'm not. Well, put it this way: Winx is the worst setup favourite for an Epsom or a Doncaster I have seen in my life. 1300 metre run, 21 days, Rosehill to Randwick is the most appalling setup for a favourite at $2.80. It's fantastic. So I first went through it and said, this is an Epsom, whatever, and I came back to it and said, they're going to run somewhere benchmarked to maybe 4 lengths above. It's not an Epsom, so she can get away with it, and the slower the pace, the better it is for her.
But that's delicious, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
so you know, she's not no hope
No.
because of the
I've got it clearly on top.
because of the conditions of the race.
Yeah.
But yes, you're perfect. You make a perfectly valid point.
So
about
you
the
say
setup.
the slower the better for her because you think she can sit close.
Well,
and sprint
one of
faster.
the thing that she hasn't shown yet is the ability to smash out her as good last 400 metres as any horse in training off a fast pace. Now, all she needs to be is close enough to them. If she's close enough to them, a slower pace and that field compresses, that's when she's going to be the best. If they went out hard and fast, I think then she's going to then have to run above average. Put it this way: if the Doncaster was run, or the Epsom was run at what it normally was, she'd be running 2 lengths above average, even being back last. Then she's got to still do that 10-length sprint off them to win the race. That's getting into that's taking her to a level of about 4 lengths above what she's ever done before. Not impossible, but whatever. Here, she only has to replicate what she's done recently, and just and as long as she's not too far back off them, and because the bar isn't that high for what the other ones can do. So the slower pace, the better, as far as I'm concerned. And then conversely, when I did my first run through it and looked at Silver Ball, you say, how good is this? 2,000 metres back, 4th up, best set up horse, perfect. That's best set up for a normal Epsom that is going 10 lengths above average. That might be an awful setup for this race because it's too down.
Yes. Well, let's talk about how much tempo we can expect, because we've got a few of them drawn in. So we've got Entirely Platinum, who's 3rd up, staying at a mile. That will need to run them along a bit.
Yeah.
We'll need a genuine tempo.
So, but we're sort of saying Ecuador hooked Entirely Platinum. Messine somewhere there, yeah.
Swain S is a
Tongue-tied.
chance to be hard up on the speed. Saddler's Lake in behind them.
Jimmy on the fence.
Even Sons of John could find himself caught on a limb and adding to the spice of the race.
This race could easily go a little bit quicker than we think.
Oh, good, but
Especially with Jimmy inside draw.
I don't
The horse
think.
has
But
got
I think,
full
but yeah,
front.
but Jimmy will probably see himself as a chance, so I don't think he'll push up
Okay.
unless he. Then again,
So you're saying Winx tomorrow?
I'm
what you've
moving
said.
towards that point when I first like
Ecuador's not going to take any prisoners either, because he has to
but,
try and bust them, doesn't he?
but
He's in the wheelchair.
over 1,600 metres. Has he got the pace to be able to bust him anymore? Like the fastest I can see him going over 1,600 metres without being absolutely put to the sword is 4 lengths.
So who do you like, Mark? So you seem to be
Well,
a
I'll
little
start
bit
with the favourite. I'll
against
say it's 5. I'll say 5-2 the favourite.
Yeah. It's still got to come from last too.
I like Silver Ball, Kiramosa, Saddler's Lake. I think that Messine will be overlooked and is the only horse on the 7-day backup.
And has the SP in the Doncaster. Wasn't it started favourite in the Doncaster, mate?
Yeah, 2 Doncasters.
Yeah, I know. But it still did start favourite in the Doncaster.
And that's about all I say.
I suppose the race in general too, when the George Main being one of the main lead-ups, the horses that probably took 80% of the betting market in the George Main and cleared out from the field aren't there.
Yeah.
So first 3, not there. So that sort of compromises the race
There's
a bit.
very little between Lucia Valentina and Kiramosa's run.
No, exactly.
And
Exactly
Kiramosa
right.
gets Blake.
Yep, exactly right. And Lucia Valentina gets a link.
Another big plus for
And gets
Kiramosa,
Zach
getting
Purden.
dry track.
Who's that?
Kiramosa, getting back to a dry,
Dry
track.
track, massive for as is a dry track for Saddler's Lake. We've been
So,
saying how long
and
have we
that's
been saying
probably a
that
slight
for?
minus for Lucia Valentina.
Yes.
Because she was on the soft track. Her and Kiramosa looked rather similar, and you could probably say Lucia Valentina looked a bit better.
Yep.
But knowing who was suited on the track, I'd
Yep.
reverse it and put them
Kiramosa, yep, exactly.
Kiramosa in front of it.
Exactly. Anyway, so who's what? Are you Winix?
I'm Winx on top. I think it'll be exceedingly hard to beat. I think she can just keep improving in leaps and bounds. I think she's very special. And I'm Silver Ball, Kira Moster and Saddler's Lake. I said the same 4 horses before I actually did the race in full, and then I did the race in full and cemented it.
I've really elevated Hooked into it. I think.
He's one.
Look, if
That's right. You should have seen the exhibition gallop on Tuesday.
Oh, it was a good one, was it?
Outstanding.
It and Allbeck, they just went around together.
I did it. Okay.
Yeah, at Canberra, he took them down from exhibition gallop.
All right, there you go.
He's never been a horse of mine, and I always think he steals the Group 2 or Group 3 race, in my opinion. And then when it comes to game day, he puts himself there, he runs exceedingly well and gets beaten by something else.
What if a Crystal Mile or Toorak? That's a pretty, not an easy race to win, is it? It's Group 1.
I've bet against him in every other Group 1, and he's always got beat.
I think he'll run a great race. I think Back to the Dry, you're talking about Back to the Dry for him is awesome. His first up running really wasn't much. Second up, just I don't know what happened there, but I expect a much better run from him tomorrow, especially if the pace doesn't come on. So, but yeah, winks from him. How about that? Saddler's Lake, Silver Ball. That's mine.
Sounds good, Dal.
All right, lovely. Flight Stakes is next, and of course remember all the products across the board. Marks, John McLeod, everybody else, all the $10 services. There they are, and Trackwork special for that.
I've actually my last 2 best bets have won. One of them was Thrill Seeking yesterday, which
Beautiful.
was 7.5 on the fair.
Beautiful. And where's you've got a away meeting on Saturday, of course, too. If people want that.
Scone.
Oh no, you're not doing Scone, are you?
Yeah,
Or are you?
it's provincial meeting. It's
Okay.
Newcastle meeting at Scone.
Newcastle at Scone, you beauty, and then on Monday, as I mentioned, on Monday as well too, we'll do a little special combo for Monday as well. So keep your eye out for all of those from Mark's stuff, and of course you got your $20 service too, mate.
That's right.
Lovely, cool. So if you want to get Mark's selections for every provincial meeting, including Scone from Newcastle, and every city meeting in Sydney, A from B, C and D for every race, $20, one of the best value things you'll ever get if you want to be betting around those joints. Okay, Flight Stakes is Speak Fondly $2.60, $6 Pearl, $7 Anesta, $8 Sempre Labella. Mark, Speak Fondly, does it try to lead all the way over the mile? Let's see Berry on board.
Well, I'd imagine that Flamboyant Lass kicks up and they go together.
Mm-hmm.
Lauren's Magic down underneath them. And I guess that Ocean Tempest and Gone to Paris are both drawn out a bit and could find themselves pushing on a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly you'd expect the Gay pair to take it up, and both of them, are interesting runners at a mile.
Day pair taking it up. Whatever happens in Sydney. All right. Firstly, the question was from Snapper61 on Twitter. Do we think that 1,600 metres Speak Fondly will get?
Well,
It'll get it. It'll finish it. How effectively will it get it? I think it's probably
Do I think it's high?
she was a little bit flattered in the Golden Rose because press statement obviously, saw what happened to him, and she was on the 7-day backup and controlling. She's back to her own sex here, which many will see as a positive. I'm not so sure. I mean, I've got a 2-1. I think she's got a great chance.
Yep.
In fact, I think Gay's got this race
Okay.
by the proverbials.
Okay. All right.
I've gone the opposite way.
What do you want to do?
I don't like Gay. The only Gay horse I don't mind is Sempre Labura, and I'm scrapping the rest of them.
All right. Well, let's talk about Sempre Labira first up. Got back to the fans. Really in a race that, in hindsight, I think going into it, we all knew that it probably didn't look great for it, but there's a bit of a feel for it. I think getting onto the dry track is sensational for it, and the first up run was more acceptable. I would prefer an extra run.
And a good rider change.
Yeah, good rider change.
Yes,
Yeah.
does leap off the page at you, Sempre Labira.
Yeah. I think I would prefer it with one more run, but I think she's good.
She was the one out of Gay's horses that actually, in my opinion, looks to be the horse that wants
Well, back
a
to
mile.
Snapper 21 or Snapper 71. I think his question is, Speak Fondly at the mile. Sempre Labira is better suited at the mile than Speak Fondly. I think we can say.
No doubt.
Flamboyant Lass, whatever it
He's
is.
a sprinter, in my opinion, and
But like Slaughter really on Saturday. How slow did they go, Dale?
What was that?
In the 1400.
I think by last year they just did nothing.
Slaughtered.
But I think if they went faster, they would have gone over the top of her.
Well, as you say that, but I think that in a slowly run race, suddenly it's all up for grabs. There's no talent sifting.
No, that's
there,
right.
is there?
Exactly right. Because a slow run race, the overall figure is there, and if the overall figure is there, it doesn't separate the good from the bad.
So she's gone 1,000 trial, 14 quick backup, home track. She's a wild card here.
She's better set up today.
So the horse that I obviously tipped a fortnight ago, Pearls, scares me, but I just have to be hard against her because everything went right. Everything went right.
Fourth up first prep off the wet track.
I like her a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just one that's just slowly, and I think getting to the mile looks to suit her. The racing pattern will be suited. I thought she looks to get a beautiful run. Lightly raced and still very on the up.
And not gay, which I guess I think is what you're looking for.
Yeah. And the other horse that I thought from the other form line was Ocean Tempest. I thought it was the horse that probably should have won the race in my opinion. Didn't have a lot of luck. It's a horse that hasn't had a lot of luck. It's bred to definitely get this trip. I think it's a half to the Long Dynasty. She looks, and going into that race, I don't know if you recall, Dallas, they all look like flamboyant lass. You're just going, wow.
Super
She's
fit.
pervy.
Ocean Tempest had improvement, yeah.
She was the one that looked like she had improvement, and wherever her target was, it wasn't that day and next start, and she still almost run over them. So
Still has Glyn though.
I've got no issue
Glenn
with
has
Glyn.
Twice. Twice now.
Mm.
It was,
But one thing with
Glenn,
Glyn, he's always been such an exceptional jockey, and I think he might fall asleep sometimes on Wednesdays and other races. When he hits Group 1s, he seems to be able to ride to his best. So you see his rides on Bow Ben and some of those horses. He's able to lift.
All right. Okay, so what are we? The wash up with all of that is
Smarter jockeys win Group 1 races.
Speak fondly. I know. Well, talking about jockeys, Tommy Berry on for the first time this prep too is in front there. Obviously, that 6-4 is on a territory.
He might be helped because he's got his stablemate underneath.
That's as we can see, that is a big help for Tommy. But I still think 6-4 Tommy on that situation. I need better odds than that. I don't care what the horse is.
Isn't it 2 to 1? No.
2 to 1.
No, but 6-4.
Right. Well, I'm saying it'll run 5 to 2.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm happy to back Sempre Libera with my man Blake on it.
Go Blakey boy.
Yep. I am Pearls and Ocean Tempest. And I thought the other two hopes were Sempre Libera and Hernesta.
Beautiful.
Getting back to the mile for Hernesta looks key.
Lovely. McGrath Estate Agents Metropolitan 2,400 metres, probably the best betting race of the day.
Cracking race.
Beaten up $7. Almonquith $3.80.
What?
And favourite. I know you've marked it 100 to 1 mark. We talked about that.
Magic Hurricane's $3.
Oh, sorry, Magic Hurricane $3.80. I knew I was reading that wrong. Oh, do we know anything about Michael Walker? Apparently he's had tonsillitis and
may not be coming.
Almonquith 5 to 1, $6, and Chance to Dance is $9.50. Mark, do they go as brutally as they did last year in the Metropolitan won by Janoob?
Who beat a very unlucky opinion, who was subsequently awarded the race.
Yes.
When I was on it, do I get my money back?
I got mine from Janoob. It's fine.
I'll tell you what, that was the longest straight. Because I remember watching. Where was I last year? Somewhere else. They have a grand final a week earlier, and it was Turnbull Stakes.
It's rare that Turnbull Stakes has normally the meeting from last week in Caulfield on the Sunday. It's about a 1 in 5, 1 in 6 thing with the Turnbull Stakes. Anyway.
I remember watching Opinion get tragically beaten, and here he is in this race this year. Kapoor looks our leader. Bonfire will be in the van, beaten up, Possie's up. And
the rest do their best.
Yeah. Interesting draw for Magic Hurricane, Gate 1. Beyond thankful, maybe driven into the race. He's been. He had a good run last time, but he had a tough run at Wild.
Yep. All right. Lovely. Okay.
Beyond thankful should be there somewhere, mate. Not Beyond. Magic Hurricane will be up there.
Yeah.
But he's Gate 1, so he's not assisting the speed. He's just Willie. Will he hold his spot or not?
All right, okay. Well, let's start with Magic Hurricane, the favourite outside the lane. He traded $1.01 on Betfair and preferment came back and beat him.
Yeah. Look, that's a good prep for this race, isn't it? I assume he's adept at a mile and a half.
Yep.
His record says 3 starts on dry tracks for 2/3, but does that mean anything?
I think he's better on the dry.
Okay, so where are you taking us, Dal?
Yeah, Magic Eye, he's a good marker, isn't he? He's a good, yeah, he's good.
He's well set up.
Well set up, he's there, he's probably deserved favourite. Aaron.
I thought he had good improvement in him last
Still,
start.
I got to say, I thought, both Glenn and I thought he was probably that just half a run behind where we thought he would be last start.
And
So
I
that'll,
thought that showed in the last 50 metres where he just, I'm there, I'm home, and then he's like, I'm a bit tired, and I
Yeah.
gas.
Okay, so we're trying to tip Godolphin again up against Waller. Is that
no,
is that a sensible
we're
move?
not. We're not trying to do that. But
No,
there might be.
I think Quinella
Who's that?
Godolphin.
Which Waller horse Quinella's beaten up? Okay, let's talk about beating up.
I thought he was the one that kind of had the horrid run last start. He was 3 wide. He had that just uncomfortable. You don't want to be out there. He did work. He kept going. I think if I go back through all the form, I think he's at the best form in the race. Bringing a length and a half to Hartnell and to the world in a real race.
Yes.
You know who started shorter than him that day?
I know who started shorter.
Yeah, that's in this race.
No.
Opinion. Broke down in the race. Opinion started shorter than him. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't find it interesting, so that's just that's just not a me thing. But look,
What is to like about beating up here? But
think
just don't forget the pearl about horses that are covering ground or in facing the breeze or whatever that will suddenly go back to not be facing the breeze. Like he's going to have to wait here.
Yeah, which I thought was beautiful for him. One thing with him, he was a horse that they had the biggest raps in the world. Everyone agreed he was going to be a very good horse. He had the setback, so he came back from that break at very big odds, and he just consistently started to run races. He's had that prep, and now he's come back, and I think his runs have been good.
Yeah.
So why are we putting up with Glenn?
And dry track for him, but I couldn't say it could be any more of a plus.
No, dry tracks for sure.
Like he's huge.
Great.
Like, he's built like the Hulk.
Yeah, he's a great horse. Great, juicy nice horse. He's one of my favourite horses to look at, actually.
and he's eminently likeable here.
Absolutely.
But this is a race.
It's a race. It's a race that we nail every year. It's a Group 1, and Chance to Dance is your winner.
Well, I'm surprised he's so long, Dale.
Absolutely. First up, went enormous. Too enormous for a second up run. Fear of a flat run second up. Looked to go flat, but looked to travel up quite well as well too. Now up to 2,400 metres. He's best overseas. He's better than the rest of them and wins this race. He's a machine overseas. He showed all the signs of that, and he's trained by Lloyd Williams, which goes okay.
Yeah, I love the stable in these
So
races.
and Lloyd won this race doing similar things with Seville 2 years back.
That's a good point, Dale. Very good point.
And when they target a race, they do it. And Chance to Dance, 10-1, best bet of the day.
Okay. Yep. Certainly there. So we've mentioned beaten up. We've mentioned Magic Hurricane. We mentioned Chance to Dance.
Havana Cooler?
No.
What?
Joe?
Here we go. First up run was huge.
But there was
Had no
25 huge runs in that first up race.
Yeah, but he was
25
the
of
best
them.
He was the
Go
best
back and
of
have a
the
look at
huge.
how that race has panned out.
Yep. He was completely not suited at Wyong, not his track, raced flat, da-da-da-da-da. His next run I thought was very good, but looking for further, he was like...
He was a
No, I think it's
5 length
different
worse run than Morris.
Oh, I think
I
he's
thought
a different
he was
class.
only just starting to get warmed up. Was my
Why
point.
doesn't he need he sort of missed prepping him, doesn't he?
I think I look at on overseas numbers too. He's like a 6 horse, and they're 10 to 12 horses. You know,
I
it's
can
a
see
different
him
class.
running a huge race.
Okay.
I think up to 2,400 is where
No,
it is.
that's fair enough. And I he certainly you look at the names and you go, worth a look.
Yeah.
But I wasn't satisfied with what I saw. What's the story with Al Munquith?
Machine, Mark. Plus 10s for fun overseas. And
Trained by David Hayes overseas?
Not trained by David Hayes overseas, no. No, but he
He's
has
got form. The horses like Brown Panther. Like, he's got form to the elite.
his his numbers are elite. His last run was pretty good.
Wasn't Couple was better, run better last.
Quite possibly, and I think Carpool's huge odds too. I think Carpool is a
you're
is a big
underestimated.
price.
I've underestimated him, and I was surprised at how well he ran in the walking 1800 silver ball.
Yeah, that's right. No, he's there. He's there. Definitely there. Oh yeah, absolutely. I've got Almonquith right in it, and that brings Kapor right in it too. Kapor's been my fourth or fifth.
I noticed that Danube's been tried. There seems to be this in the last 12 months. There's been this right. Danube's ready now. So
Yeah, I know, but he keeps saying no, doesn't he? Apart from getting up on the inside.
Is he treated again this year?
Yeah, has he got the lacings? Has he got that? Has he got everything?
God
No.
love him.
And
I thought
Opie
the one,
Bossom,
Opie Bossom
Got
was a
Opie
weird
Bossom.
one. Was that the throw off to try and get the prize? I thought for him getting back to the dry track,
He
a
wasn't. I
huge
wouldn't
plus.
Gumby on it.
Yeah, I thought it was quite strange booking. But I thought getting back to a dry track's a big plus for him. He was out
Danube.
the back. Yeah, I couldn't find him, but
No,
he scares
good luck
me.
to him. Good luck to him.
And the last horse I want to mention is Bonfire.
Yeah.
Did carry Kay O'Hara in the lead up.
Please Shin on. Shin for Kathy. It's not a bad mix, is it?
Aaron,
Aaron?
can I comment?
Yeah, no, I didn't think it again.
No.
I think it's one of those horses that's a grade below, below this. Hence why it went to the Grafton Cup.
Anyway,
As did Kapul.
I like this race. I'm
Hence
chance to
why I think
dance.
it's a grade below them as well.
I'm chance to dance. Almonquith beaten up. Kapor. Magic Hurricane. Afternoon. Not potting it, but I'm playing the others.
I'm beaten up in the Two Godolphins.
Mm-hmm.
And
a
I give
fascinating
chance
race,
to
isn't it?
dance a good chance.
Very good.
It's
Yeah, it's a great race.
All right, beautiful.
Great race. The Metropolitan's really, in the last few years, is just.
It has become a really. It's from a race that
For
was beaten
probably
up and
bagging
gone.
the Epsom, you could probably say the Metropolitan's one that they've improved.
they've done.
But it's
they
got
have-
something to do with Waller as well, hasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Waller's
right. Exactly.
lifted the tone.
Waller and Lloyd Williams.
Yeah.
You know, it's, Lloyd bringing one up. Yeah.
And probably Godolphin actually having stays here now, so
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. That's right. Exactly. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you, boys.
Thank you.
Good luck with Epsom Day. Remember, all the products are there. There's stacks of them. Fletcher's stuff as well too. Whatever. You know that they're all there and they're all been winning. So jump on board and yes, let's have a winning weekend right across the board. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Good luck, all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.